Guys, welcome back. MDW coming at you with another action figure review. And today I've got the latest Hot Toys figure for the Attack of the Clones Star Wars line, and it is the Yoda. I've never had a Yoda figure before, so it'd be interesting to see what he's all about. Let's open him up and take a look. Guys, thanks for joining me for another action figure review. Another Hot Toys figure in the bag. They're coming on thick and fast now, so I'm getting the reviews out nice and quickly for you. So the Yoda figure, same as pretty much any other Hot Toys figure. You've got a picture of Yoda on the front of the box. You've got this kind of cool little sleeve around the bottom there that we saw with Count Dooku and a lot of the other figures. Now, just taking the top bit off. Then inside the box, you've got the kind of outer sleeve, the packaging there, which is another picture of the figure. So we've got one there of Yoda reflecting the Force lightning that Dooku sends at him. And then inside the box, so we have the figure itself, all in its clear protective packaging. Obviously to scale, so he's going to be a lot smaller than some of the other figures we've seen. So let's have a little look at that. I'm not too sure how I feel about that compared to like the price point of the figure. But let's go and have a look at the figure closer up. Okay guys, so welcome back. Let's have a closer look at the Yoda figure. So first of all, the figure is that small that I can actually fit him on one of my little kind of solar powered rotating action figure display stands, so it's quite cool. You guys can see them all spinning around there nicely, so you have a little look at the figure before I go into some of the details of it. So yes, Attack of the Clones Yoda. So I haven't picked up any Yodas before in the past. I don't know why. I mean the character's obviously iconic in Star Wars. I haven't got any. I think I was perhaps waiting for the right price. If I honestly wanted a Yoda, it would probably be the Empire Strikes Back version, because that's the one I grew up with, that's the one I remember most, it's the most iconic version of Yoda, I think. When I saw Attack of the Clones, I'll always have my kind of view of Yoda, I don't know, not as fond as memory as I would like in that. I remember seeing Attack of the Clones in the cinema, and obviously the cinema was packed, and just the bit when they introduce Yoda and he steps up to fight Dooku, and the music's kind of like dun, dun, and he opens his robe's up and his lightsaber's there, and it kind of gets ready to fight, and everyone in the cinema was just laughing their heads off. And when he was like jumping around everywhere and going kind of, I understand it looked better than I thought it was going to be, because I wasn't too sure how I would feel about seeing Yoda fight, but I think it was just spoiled a little bit by me. But everybody around me was just creasing up laughing, which I can see the funny side of it, do you know what I mean? But when you're trying to get into a film and it's something that you really love, and just all you can hear is just everyone booing their eyes out with laughter just because they think it just looks so stupid. So I'll always remember that, and I think my view of this version of Yoda will always be tarnished by that. Okay, so let's have a look, guys. So his head is movable, obviously, so it goes from left to right and it goes up and down, so it's on the usual kind of swivel socket that all the heads are. Note to self is the hair on top of his head, so it is really great, kind of fine little cotton wool kind of offshoots on his head. It's really nicely done. I mean, you can't see any glue around it at all, and it just looks like it's just growing out of his head. It kind of filters out from the top of his head there, around the sides with sideburns, kind of sticks out a little bit. Really nice, really soft feeling. Love that. The only thing is with it, don't touch it too much. Apparently you're not supposed to brush it or just literally play with it or move it or anything like that, because it can just come off. So there you go, guys, there's a note straight away. When you're moving his head around, be careful you don't pull some of this hair off, because you won't be able to get it back on again, I don't reckon, without it looking stupid anyway. Other articulations, obviously his arms move, so they go quite far up and down. You get a swivel again at the bicep there and in the joints in the arms, so you get a nice little same range of movement that you would with one of the normal size figures. Then his hand obviously rotate 360 degrees. He hasn't really got a waist swivel at all, or a torso crunch. I probably think this part of the body is just all one piece. His legs obviously have movement here at the groin. Again, not much. You're probably going to get about that much out of him. There is a knee bend as well, so you can pose him, because I've seen quite a lot of shots of him kind of in mid-flight, fighting Count Dooku. And then his foot swivels all the way around as well, and he has removable feet that you can switch out. So there you go. So say he's got quite a lot of movement. You can pose him quite well. He looks pretty decent. So not a massive amount around the leg areas, but again, you only really need, because he's so small. You only need a little bend in the knee really to be able to display him properly. So there we go. There's a look at the articulation. So So let's have a closer look at the detail of the figure, the actual head sculpt. Head sculpt's really nice. He's got the deadpan look in his face, which I'm not a fan of. Like I say, some of the figures have it, some of them don't. He has definitely got a bit of a kind of staring into nothingness, the void of life face. But other than that though, everything else is spot on. I mean, he's got loads of little aging wrinkles around his face, the eyes, underneath his eyes here, around his mouth. The ears are really nice. He's got loads of little kind of wrinkles picked out across the top of the ears, and then obviously his forehead's got his little bumps and lumps in it, so that's really nicely done. His neck has got a really weird looking Adam's apple there. I don't know what it is. It looks like something out of Aliens or something, but yeah, that looks pretty decent as well. His hands have got some different shades of green on them, so he's got a bit of a darker skin tone on the palms of his hands there. His nails are all picked out with just like a kind of a beige colour. There you guys see that. His costume again is pretty standard, so you've just got this kind of he's got the outer robes here, which is again the cream colour. The hood doesn't go over his head. I mean, I wouldn't try it. I don't think it just wouldn't fit over his ears. You know, it's kind of stitched here and here to each side, so I think you have to have the hood down. I wouldn't try and risk it anyway to break these seams. Perhaps it would go over, but again, you risk damaging the hair, so I wouldn't do that really, if I'm honest. Then obviously his robe's underneath there, so he's got this kind of brown outfit going on. There isn't really much difference in the outfit. The belt part here seems to be kind of part of this outfit underneath, so it's all one piece, all stitched nicely. Really nice feel to it. Again, one colour, it's like a lighter brown across. There are some wiry bits as well inside his robes, which is quite a nice touch. So you've got this round the wrist pieces here. You guys can see, so I can bend that in like that, or you can literally bend them outwards. You know, so you can display him as if he's in motion or flying through the air or jumping or whatever. So that's quite nice. I quite like that, because when you do some posing with him, you know, with his stick or with the force lightning, you want to be able to pose the sleeves really, you know, so they're kind of hanging down, because they're quite, you know, heavy robes, obviously Jedi robes. So you can see there straight away you can get some cool poses. There's some wiring obviously the bottom here as well of his robe, so again you can bend those like that and have them kind of swirling about as if he's in motion. So you know, his robes have got really cool display options in there. You know, I'd say the wiring really does help, and I'm glad they kind of made that little bit of extra detail in there. Okay, so let's talk accessories for Yoda. So what he does make up for his stature, he makes up with in accessories. You get quite a few with the figure. So you get the classic extra hands. You get 4 extra hands of Yoda. One of them is the open hand, and you got a couple of the kind of closed hands. You want him holding his lightsaber in that hand there, and then obviously the other hand, and then one is kind of perhaps pushing or force or kind of moving something across. Or that could be even just for, I believe he's got a couple of hands for holding his staff as well, his stick, walking stick. So yeah, you get the 4 hands with Yoda. Then you get the 2 little cutesy feet as well, dinky feet. I think this is kind of more when you want him to pose him on the dynamic display base and kind of flying through midair. So it looks like he's kind of, you know, curling his feet around as if he's like leaping forward. So you get 2 of those with him. You get obviously the iconic Yoda walking stick again, which is just, it's got a really weird gloss finish to it actually. Don't know if it has in the films or not, but again there's lots of wood detail, the kind of grain on the wood. Like deeper brown colour, but yeah, with shiny gloss finish to that. Then you get Yoda's lightsaber. So again, the blade's removable, so you just have the hilt there. Cool details on it. You know, picked out like a little kind of the ignition button there, black and silver colouring. The lightsaber doesn't light up on this figure. There's no batteries with him. There's nothing you can remove the hand, because I believe the figure's so small. So the hilt can just be taken away from the blade itself just to pose this on the actual figure, which I'll show you in a second, because it's magnetic. Put my teeth back in, and then you get, which is quite a nice touch, even though it doesn't light up as well. You still get the kind of swinging blade, motion piece you can stick in there as well, so you can, looks like he's swinging his lightsaber. Still looks pretty decent. Get those with him, and then you get 2 new accessories with Yoda, you see. So you get the force lightning. Obviously the Count Dooku fires at Yoda, he kind of rebounds it back, doesn't he, and kind of takes the light into himself, or just kind of dissipates the force lightning with his own knowledge of the force. So yeah, you got kind of 2 kind of clear lightning bolts coming through, just like we saw with Count Dooku there, the transition with the clear plastic going right away up to the blue. Again, they're quite flexible, so don't worry too much about that. And then you've got 2 kind of crazy balls at the end there, where Yoda obviously swirls them around into his hand and gets rid of them. And he's got 3 holes, you see, in the balls there, where literally his hands fit in to the, Find one here, just fit into the holes. I think obviously there's specific hands that do it. I think the 2 hands that come in the box with him that he's wearing are the 2 hands that you use for this, but I'll show you pictures of that in a second. So that's a cool little touch. I mean, if you had the Dooku figure, you could perhaps, you know, attach these to Yoda and have them attached to the Dooku ones coming out, so you could actually pose it where Dooku's firing point blank at the lightning and Yoda's just literally rebounding it back. So there we go, guys. There's a look at all the accessories that Yoda comes with. So just like all Hot Toys figures, of course, Yoda comes with a base. It's a standard base as we're used to now. Star Wars logo on the front, the Yoda name down there. The design of the base has got the same sort of kind of concrete design on it that the Count Dooku's base had, so that's quite nice. You can put the 2 bases together and display them, perhaps even in a, you know, kind of little diorama. You can have Yoda perhaps, you know, on this side and then Count Dooku fighting. So yeah, that's quite cool. They've kept the same as that. He also comes with the dynamic display rod stand there at the back. So this piece here literally sits into the display base, and then at the end there's got this little top bit, and you get the clamp, and you put this on the top, and then there's a little kind of nut thing that you screw into place. That goes on the top, yeah, and then there's a clamp that you use. You use this clamp here to open up, and then you can display Yoda, put it around his waist or, you know, kind of upper body, and then you can bend this around because it's quite reinforced, so it's quite strong and sturdy to hold the figure up, and you can put him in loads of different poses. You literally then, I believe, just tighten the clamp on the top with this screw. But yeah, other than that, guys, then you're all ready to display the figure. So the feet are just the same as Yoda's hands. You literally twist the feet, they pop off, and you put the other foot on and screw it into place. The lightsaber has actually got a little tiny magnet in it, which actually sits on his belt. And the hands there are the same, the feet again, they twist and fit into place. You also get a small instruction manual with Yoda. Doesn't really give you much info in there apart from not to brush his hair, and obviously a little other few bits and pieces like his dynamic figure stand. So there we go, everybody, another Hot Toy review in the bag. Overall, he's an okay figure. So this is the first Yoda I've had at the start of the video. You know, I like the figure. I think it suffers a bit from what Obi-Wan Kenobi did, where the box art that we've seen and the prototype figure looks a lot more detailed than the figure we got. There's a lot more kind of aged wrinkles on the box art. You've got different hair, different shades of green, which didn't really translate much to this figure, I'm afraid. Also, price point wise, you know, it's still only like 30-40 quid out of the Death Trooper price, which you'll see in my last photo in this montage here, that the Death Troop is absolutely towering over him, and just the price of this figure, I just don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you. The accessories are decent, like I said, and he's a pretty solid figure, but if you're a massive fan of Yoda, perhaps pick him up. If not, I'd wait on eBay and try and perhaps get this guy for around about, you know, more kind of 130, 140. That's probably what he's worth, I imagine. I just can't see how they can put that at the same price point out this as you would for, do you know what I mean, something like a Stormtrooper, where you get, you know, so much more figure with it. But still, there we go, everybody. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm nearly at 500 subscribers. Thank you so much for everybody that supports my channel and puts these lovely comments down below that I read. And I'll have a little competition coming out when I hit the 500, so stay tuned for that. Thanks very much, everybody, and as always, keep collecting. I'll see you on my next video. MDW signing off.
Party? Cool that sounds.
You know you're never ever gonna get laid.
Find MDW on Facebook and Instagram now at MDW_toys.